Good evening, and welcome to the Fortean Slip Midnight Rendezvous. Tonight, I am joined by the lovely Skyla Ballard as we talk about the strange and the unusual, and I might put you all to sleep with my NPR delivery.
Monotone voice coming through.
This is episode 5 of the Fortean Slip Midnight Rendezvous. I happen to be on a break from, for those of you keeping track at home, for those of you keeping score, I'm on a break from taking care of my father this week for a couple of days or a couple of nights. So I'm home, and I decided to do a show with Miss Ballard because we haven't been able to do much of anything lately.
You've been a busy beaver.
I have. I've been building that dam, just chipping away.
Yeah. Chip. No, you've been doing some serious work. You know, you got to take care of your dad. That's what you got to do.
But I missed my opportunity the other night when I was doing the show with Steve and Matt, and I wanted to talk about this, and I didn't get a chance to, and I threw it by I threw it at Skyla.
Sound like you call me scat.
Yeah. Oh, it's fucking.
I'm not shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not a turd. So I threw it by Skyla, and and to get her reaction on the whole Krampus trailer that was released.
Yeah. Debacle. That was wonderful.
You compared
I compared it to that dumbass movie Jack Frost. I mean, anytime you take a holiday movie that's supposed to be about love and joy and you make it into a horror film, it's just automatic Rotten Tomatoes. No.
Yeah, I don't know that they can pull it off. I like the idea of Krampus. Like when we did our first show on it almost a couple of years ago now. And then we did a follow-up show, I believe it was last year, or I did a follow-up show. I do like the idea of the, Christmas demon, the anti-Saint Nicholas, the anti-Claus, the, whatever you want to call the fucking thing. This creature that goes around and beats kids with sticks and...
Now, wait a minute. When you first sent me the trailer, because I had never even heard of Krampus, but I remember hearing about this German, maybe it was a German or a Dutch folktale about this guy that would follow Santa Claus around, and then he would beat the kids that were bad, and Santa Claus would give gifts to the kids that are good. Is that the same story?
I don't know.
Because I saw it on The Office.
No, I'm not sure if that's the same thing. I know it is a European folklore.
And how did you come across it though?
I can't remember how. I can't remember how we found it. I can't remember if Steve found it or if Matt came across it, or if even somehow. I don't think I came across. I don't think it was me, but then of course we looked into it a little bit, and I don't have any of the information up now. I'm not I'm not pulling from anything that's factual right now. I'm just pulling from memory, but I do know that he would beat the children, and it was kind of like it was when you're bad, you get a visit from fucking Krampus, and he fucks you up. He's like a demon. He's got like hoofed feet and...
Yeah, I saw that. That part made it more creepy than what it's... The idea of it is. The idea of it, just to me, it's hard to make it creepy. But when I saw like the hoofs walking around the car and stuff, like that part, I don't know. Like it can be creepy, but just when you tie it in with the idea of what they're trying to sell you, it's just really hard for me to buy into. When I say that it's hard to make something that's normally happy turn into a horror, that only works when you're dealing with like children and dolls and clowns. I mean, those can be super creepy, and then they can be happy. But Jack Frost, a snowman, fucking somebody up with a knife. I mean, that's just so stupid. I just can't buy into it, you know?
Oh, I couldn't even sit down and watch that. I
Oh
mean,
my God, I just laughed.
I'm aware of the movie, but you know, I'm not going to be sitting my ass down and watching that movie. There's nothing that's going to get me to sit down and watch Jack Frost. Not or the version with fucking Michael Keaton.
Yeah, they're both equally stupid.
You know, I'm not. I
Yeah,
mean, I like a good horror movie,
me too.
and I like a good movie about you know, folklore and not something that's common. And Krampus isn't common. It's gaining a lot of popularity, but it isn't something that was, you know, hugely like I hadn't heard anything about the phenomenon of Krampus. But, you
I
know,
would
now it's big.
I would say I would at least give it a chance, even though the idea of it just doesn't seem like it would scare me. Because it's so different and I'm curious as to what it's about, I probably would watch it just to see.
Yeah, I mean, I'll check it out because at this point I've done a couple of different shows on it, and I like I said, I like the idea of it. I like the mythology behind it and the legend behind it. So I'll definitely be checking it out. But you know, whether or not it's going to be quote unquote good is another. That's you know. But I've been surprised by movies before.
Like which? Which one?
The biggest one I would say that I watched on a whim that was like a horror style movie was Troll Hunter, which
Yeah,
is
you know what? Same fucking thing for me too, because I thought it was going to be so stupid, and I actually liked it.
it
Like
was
it gave me that thrill factor where I was like, you know, this is
it
kind
was
of
I've
like
watched that
freaky.
movie. I can't even relate to anyone how many times. I don't even know at this point how many times I've watched that movie. It's a lot. I've watched it a lot, and I stopped watching it because it became like an obsession. I just turn it on and fucking watch it.
Wow, so you do really like it.
Yeah, and I didn't expect to. So, you know, hey, Krampus could definitely.
Could be your troll number two.
It could be Troll Hunter, fucking, you know, again all over again. But I don't know. I don't know
Okay,
that it will be.
let me ask you this: what is the dumbest horror movie you've ever seen, off the top of your head?
The
Dumbest.
dumbest horror movie that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Oh
think about it for a second.
God, the
It's gonna be
dumbest,
hard, right?
the dumbest one. Yeah, it's really hard to like pick it out, but I'd have to say like Doll Man versus the Demonic Toys.
I never even heard of that.
And like I want to say that they're doing no. Yeah, it was Demonic Toys. Um and they're rebooting Puppet Master, which is another one that kind of was good and kind of was bad.
You know, I haven't watched that movie as an adult. As a kid, it freaked me out. But if I watched it again as an adult, it probably would seem pretty lame to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to be able to do with that, but it's, you know, it is what it is. Horror movies don't hold the same amount of um, scary surprise with me anymore. It takes a lot for a horror movie to do something, you know, to really catch me and really, you know, pull me in.
Yeah, you've been desensitized, so, you know,
Yeah,
it's going to take more.
like one of my favorite horror movies is The Ninth Gate with Johnny Depp. I think that's what it's called. I'm pretty sure. God, if it's not, I'm gonna feel like a fucking
I
complete
don't know, to be
asshole.
honest with you.
I'm pretty sure it's The Ninth Gate, but he's looking for a book that allows the reader to conjure Satan, and
Wow.
he's looking for it for another guy. And this guy collects all books about Satan, and the guy ultimately is trying to conjure, you know, the devil. And he goes around trying to look for all these pieces to this book, and you know, yada yada yada. I'm not gonna give anything away. It's the movie's been out for a while. I mean, obviously I could give away the whole entire movie, but It. If you haven't seen it, I don't want to ruin it for you.
No, I haven't seen it actually.
And you should watch it. It's a fucking
I
great
should.
movie.
Johnny Depp's a good actor. Like, I can't think of anything he's been in that sucks.
You'd love it.
I probably would.
But yeah, so I'm kind of waiting to check out Krampus, and we'll see what happens with it. But
yeah, maybe.
On to a story that you brought to my attention, Skyla, and that is a creature attacking cars. Is it?
Yeah, in Mr. Knapp State of Oklahoma.
Oh, that crazy state of Oklahoma with
crazy state.
The Oklahoma octopus, by the way, which Matt refuses to endorse.
Matt, you got to endorse it. It's your state, man.
I keep trying to tell him that as a member of the Fortean Slip, that he's required to endorse all cryptids from his state, and he says that the Oklahoma octopus is bullshit.
Like most cryptids, it probably is, but it's there, so you got to support it. Sorry, Matt.
He went on a rant when I brought that up, like you wouldn't fucking believe.
No, I can believe it. Well, this happened in this town called Vanita. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's not far from him, actually. It's up in the northeastern part of the state. It's not even a big town. I wouldn't say that it's small, but just average size town. And all of the damage is happening in this car lot. That's what I find strange. Like, it's not happening anywhere else except this car lot where they're selling cars. I don't know. It just seems like someone's maybe got a vendetta or some revenge, and they're releasing their animals out to chew up some cars. I mean, I don't see this being anything else than some big-ass dog. But, did you look at the pictures of the cars with the bumpers ripped off and stuff?
Yeah, the bumpers ripped off them. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck it could be, but something's ripping off the bumpers of cars, and they say it's an animal or a creature.
It has to be an animal. You can see the bite marks, and it's leaving behind like little hairs. They look white. That's why they say they think it's a white dog. If it's a dog, it's definitely a big dog because the bite marks.
If it's a fucking dog, why can't we fucking get like a DNA test on this bitch? Fucking solve this mystery.
That's what I was wondering. Like, why wouldn't they take that hair and get it tested? And then, did you see
if somebody can swab the inside of their mouth and send it off and fucking to Ancestry.com and get told where the fuck they came from?
Yeah. The cage that they put out to catch this thing is ridiculous. Like, it looks like it could barely hold a few rabbits. I'm just like, what? And there's like no bait or anything. They're just going to leave the door open and maybe hope that it goes in. That's just stupid to me. And like, they're not going to have much luck with that trap. If he's ripping off bumpers of cars, he's going to be able to rip through that tiny little metal trap. Did you see it?
No, I haven't seen the trap.
Well, it's not much to see. But anyways, the news reporter was interviewing the car lot owner, and he was saying that everyone's been speculating that it could be anything from Bigfoot to Dogman to a werewolf to just some random dog.
Bigfoot and Dogman want to rip bumpers off of cars.
Yeah, this doesn't look like something Bigfoot would do. The only time I've ever heard a story similar to this was the Lizard Man story in South Carolina, when people were having their cars chewed on and stuff. I think someone even caught a glimpse of the Lizard Man.
There was a few different instances of that when the whole Lizard Man debacle went down way back when. I don't know.
And it happened again. It happened again in 2011, and then it just disappeared again, like nothing happened since then.
Oh, what about Rubber Suit Man?
Yeah. I don't think he was related to any car damage as of recent times, but yeah. So I have no idea what it is. I very highly doubt it's Bigfoot. Could be, what do they call that big-ass dog? The hell dog or demon dog or something? I forgot its name.
Demon dog.
The one that comes out at night with glowing red eyes. Yeah. But I don't know. You should tell Matt to go down there and check it out. personally. Send some film.
Get the fuck down there, Nap. Now.
Check it out.
And I'm gonna skip one of the stories that we had talking about tonight, but
okay.
Lastly, for the night, and my favorite story of the evening.
Of course, it would be yours.
That's fucking right, it is. The scientists that have made yeast that can create THC. Now, I guess this is on the heels of them saying that they figured out a way to make narcotics, too, with yeast. So yeast is like this versatile fucking thing that we can just hack and fuck with and have
That's crazy
make
to me. Like,
crazy shit.
How can you take yeast and make all these different things out of this one thing? THC from yeast?
It's great.
That's crazy.
It's, well, it's great. And it's kind of not so great in the same. In one hand, it's great, and in the other hand, it's not. And here's why: because the pharmaceutical companies want to get their hands on this shit because they want to make pharmaceutical grade THC. Mm-hmm. Is what is the whole? You know, they want something that they can play with.
Yeah.
Now, granted, there's a lot of benefits to the compound. Which we found, it helps with people with glaucoma. It can help with people with eating disorders, namely people that don't eat enough or people who need to eat more. It can give them an appetite.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons why it can help with cancer patients. It can also help with nausea, so it's another thing that it helps with cancer patients. But so there's all these different things that some people claim that it helps with pain. I'm sorry. I've never fucking found it to help me with any of my pain. Ever. None of the strains I've ever tried has ever helped me with my fucking pain.
Well, every pain's different, so...
Yeah, it does, I have found that it does help me with, like, my anxieties, but...
Yeah.
Other than that... Headaches, I've always found it to intensify my headaches or any other pain in my body. So I don't understand the pain management thing with it. But hey, if it works for people, I'm all for it working for people.
Well, sometimes things just work out that way. Like there are people, like marijuana typically would be something that you would take to mellow you out, calm you down. But some people, it can like make them paranoid, which isn't the most common thing, but it can affect everybody differently. There's always those small groups.
A lot of people that it is affected that way, made them paranoid. Like I used to be that way. I used to smoke and I'd get fucking all the way wigged out. Like, Mama, don't fucking make me go outside.
Well, yeah.
I can remember my cousin used to get me high, and we'd have to go into his parents' house, and make the fucking walk to his bedroom and pray to fucking God that my uncle or my aunt didn't say a word to me. Because I would just be a fucking blubbering mess.
Wow. Well, those were your first years of smoking. I never got the whole paranoid thing. I always got like the giggles and the munchies. I just wanted to laugh and fucking eat everything in the cabinet, so...
Oh, I was always just... I used to get really paranoid. Nowadays, I don't give a shit. But...
You built up an immunity, though, so it probably affects you differently.
Yeah, I don't know anymore. But, I mean, I more or less use it to, like I said, mellow out. And I have different, types of anxieties that I use it for, but...
Well, let me ask you this. If you were looking for, like, just the ultimate... mellow out for the evening, would you prefer to eat a big fat weed brownie or would you rather smoke a bowl?
Oh, I'd rather smoke than eat a brownie. I'm not big into edibles. I don't mind them, and I'll eat them every once in a while. Like, obviously I fucked up and didn't record a show with Steve because we didn't have a show for like 3 fucking weeks. But yeah, I mean I'll eat them, but I prefer it the other way. But at the same time, I wish like the edibles affected me. A lot of people say that edibles affect them, and they're like, they get all fucked up and they're just mellowed right out. The only thing I've found from them, like for a little while I can be fucked up. Like that night I was kind of pushing forward and recording a show, or thought I was recording a show. So I was, into that groove, so I was able to go forward. But most of the time when I eat any type of edibles, I go to sleep. I can't stay awake. I just fucking fall asleep. Well,
there you go. If you have insomnia, you know what to do.
Yeah, but I don't have access to them that often.
Oh.
If I had, if I went out and jumped through all the hoops, and I could, but
I've never actually ate weed, so I've always wanted to try it in like a brownie or something to see how different it would be. So maybe that's next.
I've had some interesting experience, and I'm not saying that I haven't had some interesting experience on edibles. I have. There was one time I wound up, I ate a cookie that I had made, and I made them pretty strong. And I stepped out of here, and when I got up from the chair and put my foot to step down on the floor, it felt like it just vibrated.
Whoa.
Like when you take your feet, and the only thing I could describe it is if you're mowing the lawn, your arms, or if you use one of those old style foot massagers where you'd put your foot in this thing with water and it would vibrate. Mm-hmm. And then the feeling once you stopped that and went to go step on the ground, that's the only way that I could describe it. But in that feeling kind of permeated through my whole body as I made each step to the kitchen. And I thought I was fucking... And there was another time I ate one. I went upstairs, started watching something on TV. And I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, that ain't fucking hitting me. What the fuck? Walked downstairs to get something. I can't remember if I walked downstairs to get a drink or grab something to eat. And I get downstairs and I was just sitting there staring at something. And I was like, oh my God, are you wasted? Just I didn't realize how wasted I was until I got up and went downstairs.
Yeah.
So sometimes it very well may be that I just don't feel what it is that the edible is doing to me. But I mean, I don't know. I burned out a lot of shit doing drugs over the years. So
yeah. Well, I think the greatest thing that's positive from them being able to create THC from yeast is, the more scientists are looking at this from an aspect of how this can be used to heal people and to make people better in many different ways, the closer we're going to get to it being legalized, which it should be in every state. So I think that's the greatest positive thing from it.
Well, there's, and it makes it, having it able to be created this way makes it more able to be available to people.
Exactly, distributed. Yeah.
Yeah, it does make things a lot easier. But the plant fucking will grow anywhere, so it's not like that's the problem, like a huge problem.
It's just getting people to understand that there's so much more you can do with this than just get high. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And even the high that you get from it, so what? You get drunk from drinking alcohol. You can't compare, in my opinion, marijuana to crack and all these other drugs that should be illegal. It's just apples and oranges. It's not the same.
Right.
So.
That's another debate for another time.
There you go. For another time.
Yeah. Anywho.
I'm just staring at this leaf.
The leaf?
Yeah. Makes me want to eat a pot brownie. Maybe I'm just hungry right now.
This has been the Fortean Slip Midnight Rendezvous, episode 5. If you like this shit, hit the thumbs up button. If you don't, hit the little thumbs down button. Leave a comment. Bitch, moan, complain. Do whatever you need to do. Check out Dred Funn at dredfunn.com and at youtube.com/Dred Funn. Check out Skyla's YouTube channel. Was it Simply Skyla?
Correct, sir.
Simply Skyla, so not with the extra Skyla. Like, because I had to ask a question.